Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. This is a reading I don't want to do, but I'm doing it anyway. News is out that staff for the Department of Education were told to take their laptops with them and exit the building Tuesday, which is tonight, March 11th, by 6 p.m., informing them that all department offices in Washington, D.C., as well as regional offices, will be closed on Wednesday, which will be a work-from-home day. James Harefield, who's from the Office of Security, Facilities, and Logistics, said the offices will be closed for, quote, security reasons, unquote. Employees will not be allowed into any of the facilities on Wednesday for any reason. Offices will reopen Thursday, at which time in-person presence will resume. This directive from Mr. Harefield came hours before the department announced it would be cutting its workforce in half, from 4,133 workers to 2,183 workers. Employees who are being laid off would be placed on leave on March 21st. Trump is trying to bring the schools back to the states. And Linda McMahon basically said that she said the department has an opportunity to perform one final unforgettable public service to future generations of students. I will hope you will join me in ensuring that when our final mission is complete, we will be able to say that we left American education freer, stronger, and with more hope in the future. Getting rid of the DOE, Department of Education, requires congressional approval and faces a steep hurdle in the Senate, where 60 votes would be needed to advance a plan. They can't dismantle it, but they'll get rid of half the workers, which, you effectively are cutting the plant off and cutting, half the plant and rooting for it to die. And then you can say, oh, we didn't kill it. It just died on its own. Morale crushing. This hurts. This causes me physical discomfort to watch something just get dismantled because of one man's petty vindictiveness, and there doesn't seem to be anybody willing to stop him. This is where I take umbrage with God's perfect, ineffable plan. Now they'll say you have to tear things down to build something better. Yeah, Elon said that about the economy too. It's really easy to say when you own like 10 houses and they're all mansions and stuff like that, and you won't suffer. But for a bunch of other people, they'll be building their houses while they're sleeping in the mud, so to speak. Cold comfort. So I want to read on the energy around the Department of Education and what might happen out of this. Because when you lay off half your workforce, there can be a lot of anger and a lot of resentment. So I understand why they're closing the offices for security reasons. I do not like this. Entertainment purposes only. What's going on with the DOE? Making off like a thief in the night. Illegal cuts. Unethical cuts. It also wouldn't surprise me if they're going through people's laptops or desktops to try and get... They're going to go through people's offices, basically, and try and look for stuff. Things that people shouldn't have. They don't want anybody smuggling anything out. This is almost like, to me, if I were a whistleblower, I would be concerned that they're searching for me. Crossed with the heartbreak and the betrayal. Yeah, they're not on the up and up. This whole thing is corrupt. And here's the walk-off. Here's half the population being laid off at these places. This is outright thievery. This should not be happening. It's a betrayal to the government. It's a betrayal to the contracts. It's a betrayal to the students in this country. In the past, you got the Seven of Cups. I suspect that the folks in the Department of Education were asked to do unreasonable things. That might be one way. You want us to do the work of 10 teachers on the salary of one type of environment. Do more with less, do more with less, do more with less. And this maybe is one of those one of those departments that maybe isn't as, I don't know, corrupted or rotten as, say, like the Department of Defense might be, type thing. But we have an integration and delusions. Current situation here, and it's almost like we'll send it back to the states, everything will be fine. So let's get rid of half of our department. Let's do it quickly, like thieves in the night. And if we're lucky, we will kill this department altogether. The goal of this is to dismantle the Department of Education. And their way they're going to do it is basically make it so it's non-functional and then say, well, the Department of Education is non-functional, therefore we should get rid of it altogether. They cause the problem, then say, oh my God, there's a problem, we should get rid of it. Outcome is going to be the Five of Wands. The Department of Education, however, may not go quietly. You may try and sneak off like a thief in the night, but there is going to be a collective anger and a fight for this. Because you can see where this is going, right? You get rid of the Department of Education and send it to the states, and then you're going to have certain states with very little money and a big reliance on religion, forcing their religion on the school district, like making them buy Bibles with constitutions in them, that type of thing. And you will make the overall population less educated, which means that they're good for manual labor jobs. Because, AI will take care of all the higher thinking jobs. You just need bodies to pick food and pick crops and stuff like that. You don't want an educated workforce. People are easier to control when they're dumb, sick, and hungry. What is the positive that's going to come out of this act? We can see the negative. The negative is really easy to see. What's the positive that's supposed to come out about this? A new opportunity, an opportunity to do something differently, to expose the corruption. Is it a financial opportunity? Maybe. It could be whistleblowers. We'll see. But it's to a new opportunity to talk about the corruption and about how, things of value being stolen by a corrupt government. So it's kind of like exposing the corrupt government for what it is. That's the positive. It's also the negative. We know the government's corrupt and they're doing things that are illegal, but this is maybe going to plant seeds in people to do something in the future. People are going to be very passionate about this. They're going to react quickly and furiously to the messaging. And there's that heartbreak and betrayal card again. That this is wrong. The Department of Education supports our schools, it supports our teachers and our children, and you are undermining the very future of the people that are the future of this country. Lesson to be learned. Interesting. I'm wondering if this is communities coming together. You may try to close it, but you can't. We don't want our education closed on us. We're willing to bring people in. It's stuff like this that can bring people from different political parties together. Now, there's going to be a bunch of idiots that are going to say, oh yeah, look at all this money we saved, and it's a pittance in the overall scheme of things. But if they're parents with kids, and there's lots of parents with kids out there, and they see their school districts going to pot, well, they might do something about that. It's going to lead to an organized resistance, call to arms, welcoming people in, and then fighting. Fighting the thieves, fighting the corruption, fighting that which should never have happened in the first place. Tell you what, I wouldn't want to be walking down the street with Linda McMahon should she ever get recognized. Kind of like Eric Prince's sister, Betsy DeVos. You wouldn't want to be her on one of her 6 yachts getting recognized by people. Remember how she was basically kicked out of the school? She was going to go in and give a speech. They just basically chased her away from there. It's going to be that sort of thing. You don't mess with the schools. And this is trying to mess with the schools by chopping off the head of the government agency that directs it. What are going to be the unintended consequences for the Trump administration by this? Little four-carder. What's going to be one of the main unintended consequences? Because, you know, it's not like they have a plan. It's like cut 50% and then that sounds good. And they don't care what the product comes out like. Kind of like Elon and Twitter. But the unexpected consequence is they've now given people a crusade to rally around. And it's a crusade. No, the closing of the district, the closing of the schools, complacency is no longer an option. 2 major arcana so far here. You're going to organize people to come forward and fight for those crusades. People are going to be coming in offering their sword to join this crusade. It's going to lead to grassroots organizations coming together. And there's that Page of Pentacles again. It's the messaging. The messaging of our values and then moving forward with the values. So they've created, in some ways, by doing this, they're creating a martyr. And new ideas are going to come through. And people who value that education and value their kids' future, or any child's future, are going to step up and fight for this. There will be, I don't think it'll be immediate, that the hue and cry will be immediate, but the organization will take time. But what you're going to start to see is a groundswell of grassroots campaigns coming after those who did this to this department. I do not understand. Oh, now I understand. The Republicans want to be the lords of the land, and they need peasants. And you and I get to be the peasants. They get to be large and in charge. Why? No particular reason. They get to make the rules, therefore they'll slant the playing field to their advantage. And then they get to be in charge. Right. Told you I didn't like this reading. This country. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful. I'm going to catch you on the next video. Take care.